Hello there again, everybody. This is going to be the Strixhaven Championship Modern Qualifier, so not a league. I think we've got like 200-ish people signed up right now, so it's going to be a long one with downtime between rounds. So, of course, for the YouTube, I'm going to edit out the downtime, so that way you guys don't have to sit through all of that. And I'll try to actually upload the version without the downtime this time, because last time I spent like 20 minutes actually editing out the downtime for the 8.5 hour video to get it down to just over 4 hours, and then I accidentally uploaded the 8 hour version anyway. So I'm gonna try to upload the right version this time. This is the deck that I'm gonna be working with. It's the same as last league. I'm still just pretty happy with the list. Not a whole lot that I would change from a competitive standpoint. I still think the spot removal is at a premium. I still heavily favor Dark Confidant over Ren and 6 right now. And I still think Croaks is a powerhouse and probably deserves to be a 3 of. And then my top of the curve is a little shorter than usual, which is the 4 Blood Braids at the tippy top, and then the 7 spells here and at the 3-drop slot. Let's look at the current metagame. Again, this is a pseudo-competitive event, so the representation of the various decks in this event are going to be probably different than what we would expect to see in a league. So while this usually represents leagues pretty well, we're going to take it with an even smaller grain of salt than we usually do. We've got Jund, our hero, in at 10th, followed, and then first we've got Burn, Blue, White, and Blitz, the 3 that have been kind of at the top for a few weeks now, which is a fine 3 to have at the top. I really enjoy these 3 at the top because they tend to be pretty interactive. And then obviously Heliod Company, Jund Shadow, D&T, Dredge, Amuletron, all the other basic offenders. Of this top 15, the only 3 that I really want to avoid are Dredge, Tron, and Eldrazi-Tron. Eldrazi-Tron I think I would most want to see out of those 3, but still would like to avoid it if at all possible. Alright, so in just a few minutes, I'm going to be cutting out the downtime to get to the first round, so I'll see you in a sec. Alright, we've got a keeper. Always nice to not have to mulligan immediately. Oh boy, is it a mirror? Mirrors are fun. Oh gosh. Alright, so it's either Heliod or Ponza. I'd rather play against Heliod. I mean, we're gonna get to see it sooner rather than later. Alright, it is Heliod, which I think is the best deck. They've got a company, which is definitely scary. And then between Bob and Tarmogoyf, definitely gonna get the Bob down. I could fetch basic forest, but I'm not getting Blood Moons, and I want my mana to be good. So given the presence of Liliana, I guess this will be an Overgrown Tomb. And then really like having the Bob down here on turn 2, especially when we would like to find some lands. Ren and 6 would do a similar job, but assuming we find the lands, Bob's going to find us some actual interactive action. So let's hope we can find the land in our top few. Alright, so now they're holding up company. Not quite. I mean, I guess I'm just going to hold up removal here then. We revealed Thoughtseize. I could Thoughtseize, but they'll just company in response anyway. And I'm not going to attack in case they can just put something in front. Company, yep. It's a weird art. Never actually seen that art. So their hand is 2 canopies. Oh, sorry, 1. They played this one. So if they hit combo, it'll be an awkward cat-mouse game. They didn't hit combo. They do get to search though, yep. What's up, Spunky? Alright. So they found a Ballista. Makes some sense. Ballista's gonna make my Dark Confidant look a little sillier. So I'm gonna more than likely throw either a Terminate or a Decay at this Ranger Captain. And then between the two, I guess it should be Terminate. A Decay hits a little bit extra, like we can hit Utopia Sprawl with it, but Terminate and Decay, as far as creatures go, hit all the same things. Did I pop the codes yet? No, because I suck at remembering things. I'll do it in between rounds if you remind me. So please remind me in between rounds if you're still around. We're doing all right for ourselves here. We may be able to get into a position where Liliana can take care of the Auriok champion. They've got one card that I don't know of. I think I actually do want to cast Thoughtseize and use this Lightning Bolt. I could alternatively just play Tarmogoyf to add to the board, but if I can get the board empty, I can use the Liliana to take care of the Auriok champion, which I think is something that I'm interested in. So let's lead on Thoughtseize. We could brick, but I mean, if we see just another land, that's not the worst news either. Okay. And then let's get this out of here now before they can put counters on it. We'll get shot down to 12. I appreciate it. Just gonna start sacking some canopies, yep. So I mean, if we get lucky and they don't find another creature, okay. Then Liliana would have been very good if he could hit the land. Not having lands here obviously is kind of stinging. Alright. Yep. Jeez. Alright, well we know about walking Ballista. At this point I do think I want to just play the Tarmogoyf. It does stonewall their stuff. I could keep on killing stuff, I guess. I mean, if I decay this, they'll just play a Ballista. And then Auriok champion and the Ranger can still attack. So I mean, I'm definitely falling behind. A land on turn 3 or 4 would have been very big, but we just bricked is all. Had I had Ren and 6, I would have been able to get this back, but I mean, the Bob did find some spells, so they did kind of a similar job. I mean, spells don't matter if you don't have the lands to cast them, though. I guess we'll keep going for a turn. No lands is really sucking. Alright, well I don't know that we would have won anyway because they've been drawing kind of the nuttiest cards they could possibly find. Like they drew a Ranger into a Skyclave into a Heliod. Those are kind of the hardest cards for us to beat. Alright, so Heliod. This matchup should be pretty good. Plague Engineer is coming in. I like Brutality just as a kill spell, and it also takes company if we get the hint that they've got one. And then on the play, I think I like Cleansing Wildfire an okay amount. We could hit a Utopia Sprawled land. That's about the best case for it. I don't have any graveyard stuff. It's very possible I want Courser, especially while I'm on the play, so I'll put it in like a maybe pile. I'm going to cut an Inquisition. Two Inquisitions, they tend to be really bad top decks later on. And I think I'm going to cut a Croxa as well. It's pretty possible the opponent plays Rest in Peace. I like the Kolaghan's commands a fair amount. Let's cut one off of the top because the opponent's a combo deck. I want to keep all the Bobs. I want to keep all of the Tarmogoyfs. Kolaghan's command's actually looking kind of weak. 3 mana. to kill something. The best mode is probably the second best mode is probably gonna be buy a thing back, but 2 damage doesn't kill a lot. Killing ballista and something is nice, but that's about the best case of that. Maybe this wildfire is too cute, and I should really just be bringing in other spells. Yeah, I think I actually do like bringing in other spells over the wildfire. Like the wildfire, like I said, the best case is gonna be killing a Utopia sprawled land, but that doesn't get me so far ahead. So I think I want to just board in creatures. Also, the green stuff gets to actually interact with the Auriac champion, which is kind of cool. I guess we'll take out brutality. It's just our worst removal spell and our worst hand disruption, but it does do both. Yeah, sounds good. We don't have a turn 1 play, but we've got the Bob on 2, and we can interact on 3. If we were on the draw, this would be much more unnerving, but we're on the play. Well, it's a good pickup. Let's get our Dark Confidant rolling again. Probably my best turn 2 play. So the plan right now is to play Tarmogoyf, hold up Bob. Wow, they really didn't have another land? That's kind of unbelievable. We had a pulse. We could pulse the Utopia Sprawl, but I think I like continuing to add to the board, especially when we could so easily get blown out by a Veil of Summer. So I think I like just adding pressure, holding up a Lightning Bolt. We did reveal Pulse. Here's what they know of. This is Celestial Purge. They're pathing this now. Deal. Already drew us our card. Alright, let's get Mountains. We don't have second red yet. And they gave me a card. I mean, I guess they'd have to ramp me for free. It's like they have to do it on their turn for me to never get the trigger. Champion, yep. And I'm going to have to kind of hold up removal for the rest of the game if I don't want to just die to a potential company. Push is nice. I mean, that's kind of actually the best case draw, because now I get to attack with Tarmogoyf, play another Tarmogoyf, and then hold up 2 modes of interaction to hopefully fade combo. Things like Rest in Peace would be pretty unfortunate, but I am unable to significantly play around those right now. Is there any reason to bolt the opponent's face? I mean, I guess I'm just gonna push that. I think I want to keep the Bolt because Bolt can help me win a race, and Bolt and Push already kill pretty much all of the same stuff. They could have the Veil of Summer here. I guess that's what they're thinking about. Maybe they're thinking about pathing their own thing just to find lands. Who knows? Alright, I'll keep the Bolt now that it's our only 1 mana way to interact. Croaks is a fine pickup, but the opponent's got 5 cards. Does it actually add any types? No, because we've already got creature in the yard over here. I think I'm just going to pass, well, attack, and then hold up Kolaghan's Command and Lightning Bolt, and I think I'm likely to use both at my opponent's end step. Like, maybe there's a chance the opponent discards another type of card with the Kroxa, but I think I'd rather just hold up my 2 interactive spells. Another champion. Annoying. Alright, this is going to be gaining him a lot of life, but I mean, luckily these don't interact with Tarmogoyfs very well. Alright, so if I Kolaghan's Command, shoot my opponent down to 10, I can then shoot them down to 7, which means, I guess if they discard another type, they have to block a Tarmogoyf. I'll also just be playing Bloodbraid, so they have to block a Tarmogoyf. So I think I like the play. We do not have sorcery in play already, so I could always just target myself with the discard and discard the Pulse, but I think Pulse is going to be more useful than not. It'll be unfortunate if they've got like an Obstinate Baloth, but I don't think I'm playing around Obstinate Baloth. This could draw the Veil, but I doubt it does. Don't know that they have it, but I mean they kept a 1-lander, so they had to have some amount of a very good payoff. They discard a company. Okay. I still think I'm throwing Bolt upstairs. It's my only 1 mana piece of interaction, which makes me nervous, but this does force the opponent to start making desperate blocks. Another Goyf. Not exactly what I was hoping for, and I think I will Bloodbraid. I could just die to a company, but at this point I've spent all of my instant speed stuff. So maybe it was a little extra, but I like being able to just force it all now. Hit a Courser. Yep. Alright, so they don't actually have to block anymore. We've got an Inquisition on top. Let's dismiss all of this. And then I'm going to jam all 3. Alright, so we just have to fade exactly company into the 2 combo pieces, and then we should have this rolled up next turn, which was the benefit of just throwing all the burn upstairs. But I mean, if they've got it, they've got it. Like, if I'm not doing this play, I'm just giving the opponent more time to find the combo. Granted, I do have the burn spells to fight the combo, so maybe it's right to just continue holding all that up. But I think when the opponent is so far behind, there's a good amount of upside to just really forcing them to have it. So if they play Heliod, it'll enter as a creature. Uh-huh. And I do not have a way of taking them off of the devotion, unfortunately. It's getting pretty iffy. Next Goyf on top, jeez. So question now is, do I want to pulse the Utopia Sprawl just to keep him off of more stupid stuff? I think I need to cast a Tarmogoyf here. I mean, I guess I can lead on Inquisition, and then if I see they've got like multiple spike feeders, then I may need to just pulse the Utopia Sprawl. But if I see that the coast is clear, I can then deploy Tarmogoyf and try to get around these things. So they don't have it. They do have the Veil, and they've got the Company. Alright, well, it looks like I'm going to have to kill this Utopia Sprawl. So I'll take a Skyclave, just because it's the thing that kills the thing, and then I'll kill the Utopia Sprawl. I mean, this adds both enchantment and sorcery for the Goyfs, so I can now, if I attack all, they could go block, 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 kill an Auriok champion, you take 5 going to 1. But then I'm left with just 2 Goyfs, and they've got 2 things that block forever. Here's their hand. Is that going to be worth it? I mean, that means they die to any burn spell. I think I actually like putting them to 1 here. I mean, playing more creatures is just going to continue gaining them life. And if one of the Auriok champions dies, Heliod is no longer a creature. So what's the worst block for me? I attack all, they go munch, munch. They have to block or they die. Yeah, I think I'm jamming. Because then Heliod's no longer a creature. There's nothing stupid that could happen here, right? They could just bump off of this, bump off of this. They can take this, they can then trade with this. They have both of their things alive, but I have 3 things alive. Attack all seems fine here. And then I might just expect 2 of my things to die. This has them dying, so they have to make another block. Oh, this makes sense. Yeah, I didn't calculate that. We're still ahead. Still ahead. They're gonna need help. They can't company here. The other card is Veil, so they need to hit a white source for Ranger Captain, or otherwise we just kill him in a turn anyway. They can't shock. All right, so we've got him dead. We just have to attack all, and bolts on top anyway. Yeah. Kind of silly that the first game we lost because of mana issues, and then this game they're gonna lose because of mana issues. So maybe the third game we both have a functional game. I'm an idiot, right? I forget things have lifelink. I'm just an absolute idiot. I guess so. Alright, well, I needed to not attack. I mean, we did get to kill an Auriok champion, I guess, but now we're dead to a spike feeder. Which I guess is always the case. Conclave, the Croxa doesn't actually do any of that, so I guess I'm just gonna go Goyf and make sure I can actually kill them. Yep, you'll gain 1. But a counter, sure. Goyf again. So if they Ranger Captain, they get to animate the Heliod again. But then they don't have mana to give lifelink. We got quad Glyphs. Opponent says incredible. I guess they're talking about how they missed their lands. Admiral, thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate it. Never necessary, but always welcome. Yeah, I think the opponent's forgetting that last game we had the exact same issue. I mean, they're lighthearted about it though. I don't think they're being salty. I think they're just kind of shocked. Yeah, I mean they could have cast Company, but I pulsed their the Utopia Sprawl. Bolt on top is hopefully going to make it easy. So if they don't play Ranger Captain, if they play Ranger Captain, they gain a life up to 5. Heliod gets animated, but then 2 things are getting through. Alright, now that we're on the draw, I think I'm cutting Corsair. Corsair's probably a bit too slow on the draw. Maybe now I bring in the Wildfire. It kills the Utopia Sprawled land, but that's the only good use for it, right? Kolaghan's Command is so expensive that I don't think I want it. I mean, maybe it is just correct to have any card in the deck that has the potential of killing something. I mean, I guess there's also an argument for Inquisition now that I'm on the draw. Just in the top deck wars, they're so dead. I could definitely see wanting an Inquisition like over a Brutality here, just because we're gonna really want something to do on turn 1. I need 2 more ins though. Snapcaster, thank you for the cheer. I appreciate it. Yeah, maybe I do just want another Kolaghan's Command and probably one of these. You know what? Maybe I want to bring a Bloodbraid in. Taking Corsairs out, I'm kind of threat light. I need ways to actually win this game, right? Maybe it is just another Kroxa. Kroxa is something I can do early, and it'll at least interact with the opponent's resource count. Whereas like Bloodbraid's good to close the game, but maybe I just want to interact low and early. It's gonna be unfortunate if the opponent has like Rest in Pieces and stuff like that. But I mean, Kroxa is also just like another thing that attacks into an Auriok champion well, because like they can block it, but I mean at least it does something when it attacks, right? Give this a go and cross our fingers. Let's see, turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Bob, turn 3 things to do. All right, well we've got it. Gonna need to find another land. This is looking very similar to our first hand. So I'll go Blood Crypt on 1, and then turn 2. If I haven't found a non-Peatland land, I'll just go Peatland Bob, and hopefully that gets the ball rolling. All right, they didn't have a 1-drop. They could have a Veil of Summer. But it's going to be kind of hard to play around that. So I think I'm just going to hope that they don't have it. It would be very unfortunate if they did. Oh, darn. Looks like they've got it. Yep. Alright, so they've unmulliganed. Sure. Alright, drew the Blackleaf Cliffs. Do I want to deploy Dark Confidant here, or do I want to just cast a Fatal Push on the Mentor? I guess like the worst thing that could happen here is they could cast a Spike Feeder. I am kind of actually leaning towards using the Fatal Push, though, and that's only because I have Liliana and the 3rd land. Liliana's going to be best on an empty board, so I think I do actually like killing this Mentor. And I'll do it now to play around Veil. They could have the Veil for when I try to Edict them with the Liliana. But it's going to be kind of hard to play around that. Alright, we could just die to combo. Okay, Thoughtseize is really, really good. As long as we don't see... We wanna not see, like, land and company, or just, like, the actual combo. Alright, their hand's 2 lands. Their leftovers are bad. Let's get the Dark Confidant online. Alright, we could just die still. They could just draw a Spike Feeder. Alright, Skyclave is pretty unfortunate. We've got the Liliana to deal with it and make it 2-2. Bolt's really good as well, but I think I want to get the Liliana online. Alternatively, I could Kroxa and Lightning Bolt. but I think I like holding up the bolts to deal with the combo, and I'm kind of giving the opponent a 1-turn window to just draw it again. But if I go Croxa here, I know I'm not having them discard anything useful. And I'm not actually advancing the board in a meaningful way, so I think I like just trying to get lucky for one more turn. There are a number of draws that would be very bad for me here, but there are also a bunch of dead ones like lands. And if I can untap without dying here, I'll feel pretty good. Alright, I feel pretty good. And then they should play their land because they know I'm going to have them discard it. Yep. Alright, so now I'm feeling pretty safe because I'm not going to put down Lightning Bolt whenever possible. Alright, and Swamp is actually a fine draw because we can escape Croxa next turn. Again, I don't want to put down a Lightning Bolt. I guess I'm just going to discard first copy of Croxa. And I'm not planning on discarding the land, so I'm going to play the land. And then if we draw untapped land next turn, I'll feel pretty confident in being able to deploy Croxa and hold a bolt. I guess it has to be a fetch, right? To add the card to the yard for Croxa. I'm not going to throw the bolt just upstairs for no reason. Alright, so we want to dodge Company. Company is the absolute worst case. Skyclave would be annoying. Auriok Champion would be annoying. I mean, Auriok Champion we can Edict. Why not cast second Croxa there? You missed it. I'm going to want to keep a card in hand, I think, in case I want to discard something random with the Liliana. I definitely don't want to discard Bolt, and if I draw a good spell, I don't want to have to ditch the other spell to keep the Bolt. But that's a good question, though. I should have explained that. Ageless, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, like, if the opponent had an actual card in hand, I think there's a stronger argument. But when it's just a deal 3, I think I'd rather keep the fodder for Liliana. Ooh, and they're passing. That's dangerous. They did play a land, so it could be another land, but it could also be a Company, which is something to be nervous about. Alright, and we did actually draw the fetch. So I guess I'm leading on plus here, and then I'll ditch other Croxa, and then I'll fetch in order to escape. And I think I want to do this first, as we can see what's up. You're ungunned as well. That's good. Alright, they found the Company, so we want to avoid double Spike Feeder. Actually, even single Spike Feeder does it, right? Because of Pendelhaven. Unfortunate. Alright, we need to dodge Spike Feeder. I mean, they don't know that it'll work because they don't know that we don't have, like, double removal. But we could very easily just die. Alright, well, as far as luck goes, this was pretty lucky. I guess I just let these triggers resolve. And we still are in trouble to the Spike Feeder, but Pendelhaven is really going to complicate it. Alright, I'll ditch other Croxa still. Obviously have no attack. And then I guess I'll just get basic Mountain. And I'll leave up a Blood Crypt. I can get Mountain, go red, red, black, black. Hold up a Bolt. Seems fine to me. My only green source will be a Pain Land, but that's probably fine at this stage. Alright, so you'll gain 1. And then lose 3. And then if they target their mentor, I might just zap that. Bolt doesn't actually disrupt the combo anyway, because Auriok Champion is going to make us act first, and then they can just respond with combo, and one card in hand and never has that coming up positive. So I think I'm just going to take the opportunity to kill the thing now, and then we still have to knock the top of the opponent's deck. If they've got it, which is unfortunate, but that's just about where we're at right now. The opponent's next draw step is going to be pretty pivotal. If they can brick here and Liliana can take care of Warriok Champion, and then we've got just two things in play, we're a favorite. But if the opponent just rips combo, we just die, so... Alright, attacking Liliana, yep. Cannot block with Kroxa. I'm going to try to keep Liliana alive by blocking. Makes sense. And then really don't want to see another creature here. Okay, it could still be a company. Alright, that worked. So I guess I'll attack first, making the opponent discard their last card. It was a Utopia Sprawl, okay. Alright, and I could sacrifice the peatland, but it's actually my only green source for hitting this ravine. Does that change clock at all? If they hit a land, it's 9 plus 4 is 13, which means if I draw a bolt, it is actually lethal if I don't sacrifice peatland now. So I think it's worth it to not sacrifice. And again, we could still just die. In the event they do hit it, we could sacrifice peatland and try to Hail Mary it. Alright, they hit a land, but it's the one that cycles. Still gotta get lucky. Alright, they apparently have not found it. Unless it's a company. Goip's a good hit. I think I'm just gonna play it and plus Liliana. And then we still have to get lucky. And then plussing first means the opponent has to discard for the Kroxa, so we now have to fade a single draw step. And if we do, we'll win, and if we don't, we're pretty likely to just lose. I mean, these kinds of modern games are exciting to me. I mean, it always feels bad when they hit it, but they're definitely exciting. Oh, they hit company. Crap. Company is bad for us. I mean, they just have to look at the top 6, then if one of their spike feeders is there, they kill me. Oh, is it Ballista? Ballista for 2. Well, that doesn't work though, right? I think that's short. We get to edict it with Liliana unless they ping it. And then we have plenty of things that can attack for lethal. If they had 2 more mana, this would be infinite. Oh, they have the 2 mana. What am I talking about? Yeah, so I'm just... Oh, I needed to respond to that because I'm just straight a doof. I still get to respond. I need to find a bolt or a push. It's going to be funny if I draw the decay. Darn. Alright, so we're dead. They're infinite. Zeus. Alright, yeah, this hand's a keeper. Chafet Dune. So maybe against some kind of taxes deck, Decay is going to be fine versus taxes. It could also be an Eldrazi variant. They play these colorless lands sometimes. Alright, and it's taxes. I think I'm just taking a Stoneforge. I could take the path to let my Dark Confidant live, and Dark Confidant is very good in this matchup, but I think I like taking the threats here. I mean, path is the only unique thing. I don't want the Stoneforge coming down on 2. The Stoneforge is what I'm most worried about right now. Like, Sword is pretty weak on its own. without a creature to carry it. Arbiter. Alright, well luckily we don't have a fetch. I guess I can just play Forest, say go. I could play Dark Confidant, but then the path combos really well with the Arbiter. I could hope that they go Ghost Quarter and then try to kill a land immediately, because then I can decay this and still get my land. But then if I don't decay it and they just play Ghost Quarter, it gets really awkward. So I guess I'll just do it now. Could also like Thoughtseize play Ravine, but then I can't really double spell next turn either. This sets me up to double spell, which I think I'm interested in. Sword, yep. So now the Thoughtseize is going to be between taking Flicker Wisp or Path. Having drawn Terminate, I think I want to just take the Path. And then, is there any reason to get a basic Swamp? Now, they're playing Paths and, like, Ghost Quarters and Field of Ruins, so I think I want to avoid getting basics whenever possible. So I can Thoughtseize here. And then I could still just take the Flicker Wisp, because, like, their Sword is going to be really bad as long as they don't have something to carry it. But I think I'm going to take the Path, because I do have the Bob, and then if they play the Flicker Wisp, I can terminate the creature, and then Bob can get rolling. So they're probably gonna Flicker Wisp here with the intention of equipping Sword. That would be my guess. If they find like a 1 or a 2 mana creature and can immediately equip Sword, that could be dangerous. What's up, Udok? Happy Sunday. They found an Archon. Well, that's something I can terminate as well. I mean, this is the danger though. They're gonna have creatures for a while to equip the Sword. All right, we found a Bolt though. Bolt makes me feel pretty good. And a land. All right. If I play Verdant, I get to hold up Terminate as well, and I think I want to, because if they go Flicker Wisp and a land, they can equip Sword immediately. And they know of Bolt, so I should probably just use that. Also, Terminate is going to end up killing a wider variety of stuff. So let's bolt that out of the way, and then I'll play a Verdant, because again, I'm going to want to Terminate in response to an equip. And I will get basic here just to conserve some life. They've got Field of Ruins and Ghost Quarters, but I don't think it's going to come up this particular game. Arbiter. Alright, I've got a fetch now. Yep, and then if they spend 2 mana equipping, I can just terminate. I'm going to terminate anyway. Alright, still pretty scared of the Sword. But I mean, Bob is hopefully going to find us some answers to it. There's a Bolt, that's an answer. And a Push, that's also an answer. Alright, so Bob is doing pretty well. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Yeah, Bob is just excellent against the decks that have a hard time removing it. That's most decks. Alright, they know of the Bolt, so they know that this probably isn't working. Ravine's a nice little threat, but they've got double Field of Ruin and a Ghost Quarter. There's no shortage of ways to deal with the Ravine. Just doing it now. Sure. Doesn't matter what we get here. I guess I'll get Mountain just so there's 3 of each. Black and red. They could Ghost Quarter us off of green. We've got Verdant, though. Alright, this is going to resolve. And I do have Revolt now. Is there any reason to push? I still think I want to use the Bolt first. Bolt can help win a race. But in the event that they do put a Sword of Fire and Ice on something, I can combo the Verdant and the push to kill it anyway, because it doesn't give Pro Black. So yeah, still think I'm using the Bolt. Bolt is also the one that they know about. Zap. Bob doing the Lord's work. Alright, so they're going to take me off of the green. Makes sense. But, I mean, we have the Verdant. They've got Field of Ruin, so I probably just won't activate Verdant until I actually, like, want to use it. Bloodbraid's nice. We have to actually fetch Shock to play it, though. Kind of funny. Liliana. Liliana's also quite good. Alright, I guess I'm just going to attack and play Liliana. I don't even think I'm going to use a mode on it. I'm just going to go Liliana, attack for 2, pass. More fields, jeez. Alright, I guess I'm just not gonna fetch. They're just gonna field me. And like the one extra life just could end up coming up. Foothills. Croxa. Croxa's really good here. Wow. I guess I'm just gonna plus discard Croxa and escape it right now. I'm not going to be wanting to fetch Shock here. Don't think it matters a whole lot. Let's just get some of these out of here. Yep. Knock you to 10. Feeling like I can't lose from this position. They want to hit that. Sure. Dark Confidant doing the thing. So I guess worst case scenario, do I have another black land in the deck that I could fetch Shock? I guess there's Overgrown Tomb, right? Both Blood Crypts have been used, so I can Overgrown Tomb if I want to. That puts me in danger to dying to the Bob, though. So, like, the only way I think I lose this game is if I fetch Shock and flip a 4. Archon, that's fine. I get to just Edict that out of the way and then kill the opponent. Turn 2 Bob was good. Who knew? Alright, so Death and Taxes. Let's play some Plague Engineers. I guess as far as instants and sorceries are concerned, it's only Path. Other than that, like, this is just an okay removal spell. Courser is interesting. I think I do want the Huntmaster. This thing starts flipping, we're doing well. I'm gonna definitely cut the Thoughtseizes. It's a kind of a mid-range matchup at the core, so the discard I do think is going to be not super excellent because you just really don't want to draw those. My mana situation could get icky, especially because they're taxing it so much, but I do think Courser is going to be good in the matchup. And anything that can generate cards seems like it's going to be where I want to be. They could have Rest in Peace as well, which would be maybe a reason to board these in because it's threats that don't get destroyed by Rest in Peace. I think I'll cut a Croxa because they get destroyed by Rest in Peace. I don't want to have so many threats get blown out by a single card, because then if I draw multiples, I look real dumb. And then I think on the draw, it's probably okay to cut a Liliana. I think I want to keep all of my cheap stuff in the event that my lands are getting taxed. Maybe I should just cut something at the top, though. That could definitely be better than cutting a Liliana. Don't think I want the Brutalities as mediocre removal. I think the cut is either a Liliana or probably Bloodbraid. It's like one of the two. I think with the idea that I want to keep my curve nice and low, maybe it is just better to ditch a Bloodbraid. Like on the play when I'm the beatdown, clearly I think maybe then I want to bring in the Bloodbraid. But even then, Liliana better on the play, so that could be wrong too. Oof. Well, if I could guarantee you I had a black source on top, this hand would be very good. But I can't guarantee that. So I'll ship it. This is better. So I get to, I guess, bolt the first thing, Bob on 2, Liliana on 3. So I guess I'll ditch a Terminate. Just keep that curve. And then I'm going to want to play the fetch land first. So if the opponent has the Leonin Arbiter, I don't get destroyed by that. Another fetch, sure enough. Alright, so if I do fetch a land at some point, it's not going to be basic forest, so I guess I should lead on Verdant. I'm not fetching Mountain here. Yeah, if this was the 7, the hand would be very good, but it's still a very fine 6-card hand. So if they play an Arbiter, I'll respond. Thalia. Thalia's annoying. Alright, well I guess I'll have to bolt that next turn. Let's go to Blood Crypt. So Thalia's gonna break up our curve. Pulse is a good pickup. Is there any reason to bolting now? I think I want to fetch Shock now, but that has me shocking again next turn to Liliana. That puts myself to 14 just all on my own. I mean, I definitely have to lose some life to bolt the Thalia this turn, which is unfortunate. And I think I just want to fetch now because, like, what if they play Leonin Arbiter? And then that could make me pop this awkwardly. So I guess this is getting a stomping ground, and I guess I can wait. If they want to, like, Path to Exile their own thing. I should definitely fetch now, though, because I don't want them viling in an Arbiter in response to a fetch. That would be really, really bad for me. Stoneforge. That's dangerous. Maybe I want to bolt that, but then I can't Liliana next turn either. So I guess I still want to bolt this, in which case I can still wait. I can let them make their decision on what they get with the Stoneforge. Sophie. Alright, now I'll kill this. Don't think I want to take 2 just to prevent them from playing another Thalia. That's not even true because they've got Vile. So I'm going to Liliana Edict here, I think. It'll be unfortunate if they have another creature to Vile in at 2 and then we can no longer kill the Stoneforge. I think I'm going to play the Peatland here because then next turn maybe we just get the Overgrown Tomb and tap, then we've effectively gained a life. So let's Peatland, Liliana, and then, like, if they've got a 2-drop, it'll be unfortunate. 3 cards in hand, 1 is the Sophie. Alright, that went well. I mean, if they could still have a 2-drop now, and then they would have just sacrificed the Stoneforge anyway, and then that 2-drop can kill Liliana. Another Stoneforge, jeez. So this is going to get Batterskull, I guess, right? Maul? Alright, well, we've got some more removal. If we can keep all the creatures out of play, then all of the equipment gets worse. But I mean, their deck is mostly creatures, so that's going to be hard. They might just have the Batterskull. I think they're definitely wanting to kill Liliana here because this is going to eat some relevant spell if they don't. I mean, Liliana is dying regardless of this thing's power. Oh, wow, that was nutty. I think I want to just do that. I think the worst case now is the opponent's last card is a Flicker Wisp. And then if they do Vial in a Flicker Wisp, I can then use the Kolaghan's command to kill the Flicker Wisp and I guess shatter the Maul or the Vial. I think I want to shatter the Maul. The Vial really isn't that scary moving forward. Alright, it wasn't a Flicker Wisp. So given that it wasn't a Flicker Wisp, maybe there's an argument to killing the Vial now. Just because then they can't flash in anything. Annoying. That's going to be dangerous in terms of equipment. I mean, this is going to resolve, right? Yeah. And then I think I'm just going to Kolaghan's command shoot the Maul, shoot the Mystic. I could have them discard and then shoot Maul. Stoneforge isn't that threatening. But I think I really do want to kill the Stoneforge because that makes future Liliana's much better, being able to kill the Auriac champion. Liliana's probably my best answer. So I'll kill an artifact and then do 2 to a target. They'll have to Vial in the sword now, and then I can just pulse the sword. Or the Batterskull, if that read was correct. Alright, it was. They just have the Batterskull. I mean, we're still killing Maul and we're still killing Stoneforge. I can pulse the Batterskull, but then Sword of Fire and Ice is worrying me. Untapped land is fine here. That lets us deploy Dark Confidant. So we're going to kill the Batterskull itself. Oops. Deploy Dark Confidant, going to 13. And if they find a land here, they can like play sword, equip sword, and then I'm kind of just dead. But it's hard to not play the Bob here. Yep. They drew a path. That's bad. Yep, let's look. Swamp. Alright, so our only excellent draw here, I guess, is Liliana would be best case. I guess Bloodbraid into Liliana would be actual best. Just more Bobs. Alright, well, I guess I'm sacrificing Peatland and trying to find it that way. And if I don't find it that way, I'm probably just going to play both Bobs. And then they'll hit me and then kill a Bob. Need a Liliana. Bolt. Bolt doesn't do it. Alright, so one of these Bobs is dying. Yeah, that path to exile was kind of unfortunate. I mean, even a land would have sucked too. So there was just a lot that was going to be bad. Pay to equip a sword. Bob doesn't get to block because it's got protection from black and red and blue. Yeah, I mean, unless you meant gain life as in they get to shoot a Bob. Oh, they're just they just want me to get unlucky. I mean, the average CMC is like 1.5, so like each trigger you should expect to lose like 1.5 life, like on average. Decay hits sword. Oh wow. So, I mean, we still can't kill the Auriok champion. Still can't kill the Auriok champion. Which is the biggest thing right now. So, I think what I have to do is play Peatland, sacrifice Peatland, still looking for a Liliana, and then if they've got something to flash in, I'm going to have to kill it in response. Because, like, if I use Decay on sword and then like hold up a bolt, like they're still attacking me down to 4 and I'm still in danger to the Bobs. So I think I need to get this thing dead, and then I may end up having to kill my own Bobs at some point. Yeah, I think I'm still just digging for Liliana. Croxa. Does that change anything? I mean, I might just Croxa here. I'll cast Croxa and decay the sword. If they have something to Violent 3, it gets worse, but I guess I can attack first. I mean, these things obviously aren't blocking. Then here's what they know of from me. Should have 19. I mean, I can escape Croxa next turn and hold up Lightning Bolt. They know of a Decay. I think I am just casting this Croxa and holding up the Decay that they know of. This puts down Kolagon's command, but I think I want to just get this into the graveyard to maybe cast next turn. If they do vial something in, this also is going to put them on empty. Yeah, maybe this is just too greedy. Because like if this is a Flicker Wisp, I would have been able to Kolagon's command, shoot the Wisp and the Sophie. It's an Archon. Alright, well then Archon means that this line was probably better. I can still decay the Archon on my opponent's turn. But like now I kind of have to still just kill Sophie. Still have to kill Sophie. And they had Flicker Whiffs. Alright, well, I think that one would have been better. I guess because, like, yeah, the Flicker Whiffs would have been better, right? Because, like, we can still kill whatever we need to on their turn. And then I have to hit the sword. Not even a question at this point. So we're going to be taking 3 down to 2, and we need to not die to 2 bobs. Alright, well, I mean, land was best case. We still need to fade. Oh, I forgot this has an activated ability. Yep. That'll do. Alright, so we are going into game 3. I think I want to keep what I've got. It just seems very acceptable to me. Maybe I want to bring in that Blood Braid, but I don't even know what I would bring it in for. Yeah, I'm just going to resubmit this. We don't have anything to do on 1, but the remaining spells are quite good. I think I'm keeping. The opponent has mulliganed, which is nice. Alright, so gets lead on fetch. So there you go. And then I am casting Croxa next turn, so I guess I'm going to end up getting probably Stomping Ground, given the Peatland and the Blackleaf Cliffs. They didn't have a 1-drop either, which is interesting. This hand is kind of weak to Stoneforge, in that we don't have any ways to interact at instant speed. Going for Bob would be best case. Alright, Liliana also very good, though. Alright, so Blackleaf Cliffs, Croxa. Let's see if they want to path this with the triggers on the stack. Highly doubt they do, but I mean, that might be what they're thinking about. Oh, they do? Wait, why didn't it? Oh, is it because I yielded? I'm pretty sure before that it was supposed to give me the option, but I did yield, so I guess it said auto no. That's unfortunate. That's stupid. I'm pretty sure it would usually just tell me to do it anyway, like give me the option anyway. But yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. All right, I still think I want to fetch Shock now, because like if they play a Leonin Arbiter, I kind of don't want to use a removal spell on it. So I'll get Overgrown Tomb. Get my Edict down. Pretty unfortunate. Alright, well I guess I learned. I swear in the past it's allowed me to get the land even if I've yielded, which is why I was so confident in yielding. But I guess not. Yeah, like yield should never take away an option, which is why I'm so confused. They named Liliana. Well, I guess Plague Engineer is a free answer. So I guess I'll play the Peatland, tap the Peatland. It'll kind of tell them I've got a Bolt. But I think I want to discard the Mire. Actually. So if I fetch here, plus here, I'm still one short of escaping Croxa. And like even though Mire adds a card to the yard for Croxa, I think I still want to keep the Peatland in play, because that one can cycle into a card later. So let's play this, and then we'll name, I guess, Horror. We can plus. Ditch the Mire. We've got another Edict loaded up now, which is also pretty nice. Croxa on deck, also pretty nice. I think the way we most easily lose this game now is the opponent can deal with this Croxa. Because we don't actually have any significant amount of pressure without the Croxa. I could just throw the bolt at literally anything on the opponent's turn, so that way whatever I discard to Liliana has me being enabled to escape Croxa. Alright, well, I'm going to use this ability now. And I yielded. See? I yielded. So I didn't learn from my mistake, but as it turns out, I was right the first time. Alright, we've got a lot of black. Let's just get a red. So yeah, I mean, it gave me the option there. That's so weird. So their hand is Batterskull something. Do I want to throw the bolt upstairs? I guess I actually have the mana to escape it anyway, so I can't actually just wait until I know. Bloodbraid. Alright, well I guess I'm doing that instead. It's more resilient to Path. They've already used 2 though. Definitely plussing, so that way when I Edict, I get to keep the Liliana around. And I guess I am just discarding Bolt. It's my only way to interact at instant speed, but Pulse can deal with the Batterskull. So I guess I'm pretty happy that I didn't Bolt last time, because then I would have to discard Pulse. Alright, so we want to hit another threat here. I think Goyf would be best case. Goyf or Bob. Alright, we hit Bolt anyway. Alright, and then next turn we get to escape Croxa. And then even if they hit a land to play Batterskull, I can still just Edict it out of the way so I have time to Croxa. I mean, alternatively, I could just cast this Pulse now. But I think I really like getting the Croxa into play, especially while it avoids, like, Rest in Pieces. Alright, this should be a W. Thalia. Yeah, we win. We can just play other Liliana and Edict that, or Pulse it. Pick your poison. They can bounce Batterskull to their hand that hopes to redeploy it next turn, but they're not going to get it next turn. Sweet. 1-1. I think I have to mulligan this. If this were any other land, I think I'd keep, because we can cast Terminate off of Forest. We can't cast Terminate off of Forest, so the only actual castable card in this entire hand is the Bob. This is much better. I think I want to keep both discard spells. Definitely keeping these 2 lands. So I guess it's between these 3. I'm not going to bend the threat. So then the only other option is this land or this Liliana. We're on the draw. I think I want to keep all but basic forest. Any other land in our hand is completely turned on. And even if we don't hit the lands, we're still playing. Oh god, is it Tron? But they didn't lay a lead on a Tron land, so that's kind of strange. I guess we'll see. It could be like a Scales deck of some kind, I guess, but then they don't really play Star. Just pretty curious. Oh, it's an Urza pile. Interesting. Alright, well, definitely taking Ren. So we've got 2 Urzas. And it looks like they may have been leaning on this Ren being good. Double Urza. Probably going to need to use this Bolt to kill Urza's token, so that way Liliana can kill the actual Urza. We're kind of far off from that coming up. I have not seen a green Urza deck in a long, long time. I guess it's at least Teamer. Alright, so they didn't draw another one. That's a good sign. Another Ren and 6, that is. This could also very easily be a Keenan deck. Alright, Raging Ravine is interesting. So the option now is Inquisition and Ravine, or just cast Tarmogoyf to get the pressure down. They're playing at least Teamer colors, so Goyf is likely to be at least difficult to answer. Inquisition is losing a lot of value, though. I actually kind of like playing the Inquisition, and then that can tell me if I need to hold up Bolt for some reason. It's going to feel bad if this bricks, but they're going to play whatever it is that we would have been able to hit next turn, so Inquisition actually just doesn't do anything starting as soon as next turn. So, I mean, a small gamble, and it did not work out. Gingerbread Cabin is cool. I guess this is the anti-Scourge of the Skyclaves, anti-burn tech. So they can't Urza here, which means we can still stick Liliana, maybe start going to work with that. Yeah, so an unfortunate brick. I would have felt much better had we played Goyf, because we're not playing Goyf for even a few more turns. I mean, I guess I could play Goyf, hold up Bolt, which might actually be better, because then I could maybe kill the Urza token and then untap Edict the Urza, but then I still have to deal with second copy of Urza. Pulse. Pulse is a really nice pickup. I think I am gonna play Goyf and hold up the Bolt. If they find like another Mishra's Bauble or something, it's gonna be unfortunate. But this seems good. Because like now if they play Urza, I can Bolt token unless they play another artifact, untap Liliana the Urza, and then I've got Pulse for a second copy of Urza. And they are going to get another artifact for free, right? Because of Gingerbread Cabin. So them sacrificing the star is kind of lucky for us. Because if the star were still in play, their token would be a 4/4. And I guess I'll plan on getting Blood Crypt to cast Bolt. Ideally would be getting Overgrown Tomb, but that's just not how the mana's working out right now. Tomb doesn't cast Bolt. They're popping that too. Interesting. Well, we're going to be sacrificing the Verdant before we draw that card more than likely. So I wonder if there's like some kind of combo in this deck. It might just be Thopter Sword. So this is going to get them a food, which is, of course, an artifact. I guess they don't have the blue for the Urza. That's good too. Explosives on 2. Yeah, that's annoying. So that can kill Goyf. I guess now since I'm not bolting, I can get the tomb. Inquisition. Alright, well that's not a Thoughtseize. Unlucky. Alright, well I guess I'm just gonna plus and discard that. Any reason to attack first? Yeah, I guess I should. Maybe they discard something that grows the Goyf, but I imagine they're popping this anyway. Maybe they wait because maybe I play another 2-drop, which would be the reason to attack first. Because if I Liliana first, they're definitely just going to pop this now. So I think an attack first is actually just correct. Alright, we can ditch this Inquisition pretty freely. Doubt they pitch an Urza, but I'd be happy if they did. Misty. A pretty Misty. I've opened one of these in paper. That was pretty lucky. Another explosives. Brutal. Alright, well, they've got 2 Urzas in hand. So if they play Urza, I can Kolaghan's Command Shatter Artifact, have them discard other Urza, and I guess unless they draw anything, right? I mean, having the opponent just discard a card here is a way to kill an Urza, which I think I'm interested in. And I guess the other mode is just destroy an artifact. Maybe getting back Goyf is better. Yeah, that seems better because I don't actually have a threat. So let's make them discard. I'll get back Goyf. It's like this effectively kills an Urza. And then Pulse can take care of the second one. Here's Urza. Mountain. Still think I want to Pulse this Urza before something silly happens. Like, this could get countered if their last card is somehow a counter, which would be bad, but I'm not playing around the one thing I don't know of. Alright, then we can bolt this if we really want to, but it's completely possible I need the bolt to kill, like, an Emery. And Goyf is going to Stonewall the Construct pretty soon anyway. Honk. Yep. Maybe I kill that. Yeah, I do think I'm killing it, but I guess I get to untap and wait and see. I mean, bolting it now has some upside, though, because if I draw a 2-drop, I can play everything. So I do think I'm just going to go ahead and shoot the goose now. Because if I draw, like, Bob or another Goyf, I'm going to really wish I had bolted now. Land makes it not matter. I definitely should have played this land first to play around Metallic Rebuke.
Alright, top deck war. But I got to imagine their average draw is maybe better than ours. Like, they've got Urza in their deck. 2 more, at least. And then I'll keep the fetch in play, I think. You know what? No, I'm not. I was thinking, like, maybe I wanna maintain a way to have Revolt whenever I want. But if I draw another land here, I believe I'm activating Ravine, which has me wanting to fetch anyway. Let's get more black. More green. We don't have another Overgrown Tomb in the deck. So I guess I just want more between Blood Crypt and Stomping Ground. Third green doesn't really matter as much as third black, so we'll Blood Crypt. Liliana. Well, that is something that I would want to do instead. So how do I sequence this? I guess I just start on Liliana, right? And I could just start plussing to work at the opponent's hand. But I think I like getting their creature out of the way and just starting to attack. I could plus. Their thing doesn't actually kill the Liliana yet, but any artifact does that. Oh, Galvanic Blast. I guess that would have also killed the Liliana, so I'm happy I minused. Cool little pile that we're playing against. I'm not sure if it's like an established archetype yet. Definitely did not see it on the metagame breakdown. Yeah, activating Ravine would have been bad there too, right? Because Blast would have hit the Ravine too. So we're going into the top deck war slightly ahead. Imagine if the opponent like was able to draw Uro here. Alright, Bloodbraid is the best case, so let's just slam it. Into Kolaghan's Command, that's good. No creature to get back, so I guess we'll just have the opponent discard and and shock them. They could kill an artifact, but they would just sack the artifact in response. So you just you it. That is our last Kolaghan's Command. They discarded Cryptic. Or I guess they don't have third blue. So that would be a reason to discard the card you can't cast. We've got lethal in play as well. I mean, they're just going to sack foods, I guess. I think if I'm the opponent, I discard the Galvanic Blast there, and I'll just sacrifice a food to gain life. Because Cryptic makes any of your blue lands good. I mean, you're still behind. You're like being on the back foot with a Cryptic is much worse than being on the front foot with it. Yeah, we still have 6 points here. If we activate Ravine, they're also still dead. This is a pretty cool deck. Gingerbread Cabin is pretty sweet with the Urza. I guess maybe the mana situation is a little awkward. Like, red has to be the splash, right? Because they need triple blue and they need lots of green for the cabin. So maybe it's just red and 6 and like Galvanic Blast. Alright, so we're up a game versus Teamer Urza. I don't know that we'll need Spellbomb for any reason. There's not like any Mystic Sanctuary that we have to care about. I think I do want Brutality. It hits Cryptic, whereas things like Inquisition don't. Also, it kills Emery, if that comes up. This is probably a pretty good Courser matchup. It's just gonna go long. So is there a reason to want these? If they're playing Emery, yes, but we haven't seen Emery. I guess I'll cut a Bob versus the red deck. They're also playing red and 6, which does make Bob a good amount worse. Let's cut 2 of them. On the play, I think I'll bring one of them back in. I do think I want to hedge with at least 2 spell bombs. I'm gonna cut a Bolt. Pushes kill Urzas, so I think push is probably more important. And then maybe I just cut Decay. Terminate kills Urza, so I think I'm keeping that. Could also just cut a Croxa. It's pretty likely they have Graveyard Hate of their own. Definitely want to keep all of these. You know what? Maybe it's Liliana. Liliana doesn't look fantastic versus Cryptic Command decks, especially while we're on the draw. And like the thing we need Liliana to kill most often is Urza, and Urza brings the token along with it. One more cut. Let's make it a Brutality. Brutality just seems like it's going to be the weakest card most of the time. Like, it hits Cryptic, but that's going to be its best case use, and they can't always have Cryptic, right? And then if we see a reason to want to bring in third Spellbomb, we will. On the play, we'll almost definitely bring in other Liliana. Yeah, sounds good. So, it's a little awkward in that I'm going to really want to be able to push into a Goyf. But if they don't have the thing that we want to push on one, I'm going to wish to get a tapped Stomping Ground. So I guess I have to lead on Swamp, right? And if they like Emery on 2, I can't fetch Shock a red source and a black source, because then I can't cast the push. Well, I can't get Stomping Ground because I can't push, but I do want Stomping Ground because it's my 2 missing colors. So I guess we'll just see what happens. Alright, it is Goose. Alright, well, I guess that makes my turn a little easier. I'll just play Swamp and I'll push it. Don't know how you push a flying creature, but the rules don't care about flavor. Maybe the Goose can't actually fly. Is it on the ground in the picture? Alright, math checks out. Got the Wren. The gold gilding makes it too heavy to fly. That makes sense. Croxa looks awkward in the face of Wren and 6. Definitely just going to play a Tarmogoyf here. Need to find more lands. Stomping Ground, please. Say yes. Goyfopotamus. I mean, they're not playing Path to Exile or any other black removal. So, I mean, Goyf's generally pretty good versus Teamer colors. I mean, they do play Galvanic Blast, and we hit the land. That's good. I think I'm going to use the turn, probably just deploying second Goyf. We can hit the Wren and 6. Probably should. Yeah, I'm going to hit the Wren. The Wren, yep. And I think it's going to be pretty important to play Goyf now as opposed to doing anything else. 'Cause we know the opponent's playing Cryptic Command. I guess they can't actually have Cryptic Command up next turn either because they have 2 lands that aren't blue. Still think I want to deploy the Goyf here. And then we'll have the Blood Braids to cast into the counters, which is probably a pretty good spot to be in. Do you have like a leak of some kind? Metallic Rebuke? Okay. So yeah, maybe that's a reason to have attacked first, but that doesn't actually add any type, so it just straight doesn't matter, actually. So Goyf gets to deal with the Wren and 6 next turn. So Urza would be problematic. We have the Terminate, so not the worst. They'd have to throw a Construct in front of the Goyf to keep the Wren alive. Luckily, I don't think 2 mana is enough to do much of anything. So let's get second red, second black, Blood Crypt. Bolt would be good here. Liliana is also interesting, but I think I really want to prioritize getting this Urza dead, which has me wanting to terminate. And then I'm going to assume they're saving Ren and 6 here. They want it to die. Okay. That could mean they just want the construct for future Urzas. Or they have another Ren and 6. It can mean a few different things. Tracker. That is problematic. Yeah, I really wish they had actually blocked with a construct, because then our Liliana would take care of this. But I mean, that's also, I guess, the upside of keeping the construct available. No attack. Not great. Well, I mean, we get to kill either construct or tracker, both of which are pretty dangerous. Unless they've got Metallic Rebuke or Mana Leak. Both of which are very bad for us here. Alright, they didn't have it. Don't even know which one they want to sacrifice here. They're probably just gonna ditch the construct, right? And they're at 9 and they didn't attack with construct, so that might mean their hand is light on removal, right? Right. Well, we somehow dealt with tracker there. Yeah, it's like they're at least a little afraid of their life total, because Goyf gets a good attack if they block with if they sack construct and are forced to block with tracker. So maybe their hand is removal light. So if we end up escaping Kroxa, do we remove any types? They have creature, land, planeswalker. I guess we're adding instant. No, they have rebuke. They haven't. Right. Yeah, Liliana's dying. Goyf is not growing. They've got Ren and 6. So they must have drawn a creature removal spell. Or like a cryptic. Jeez. Well, it doesn't get more awkward than that. Alright, please don't be counterbounce. Please don't be counterbounce. I mean, I'm gonna get bones by bounce anyway. Like on my end step. So I think I'm definitely casting this here. Sure. I think they might have meant to sacrifice the clue there. It doesn't seem like there's really a reason to sacrifice the food just yet. It makes their construct smaller. And like the clue is what actually gives them more information on what to discard. Alright, so I mean, maybe they're flooded. They did loop that one Misty a few times. This is the bounce. Yep. I mean, Bloodbraid can surprise them, but we need to hit the lands. Urza. Spin the wheel on Urza. Tracker. Oh god. It's a lot to beat. Now you can spin the Urza wheel. Well, I can, I guess, play Kroxa to enable Revolt and kill Urza, but I have to kill the constructs now. So I guess I'm gonna play Tarmogoyf and then really hope I can get lucky and like kill a construct in combat. If they have Rebuke too, then it's GG. I guess they had only green available. Oh, they're spinning wheel. Sure. Misty. Does not do it. Alright, I mean, they don't have a way to put a clue into play at instant speed, right? I guess I can kill this now. Should I block first? Yeah, right. I mean, if they've got a way to break this up, I'm dead anyway. Because this would shrink other constructs to 5/5, and then I can kill both. But it's unlikely to work. Well, it doesn't change the timing on when you can cast the spell, so this is fine. Like in combat, this is still working. Like, even had they played a land pre-combat, they'd have gotten a clue off a tracker. So I think this just was a punt, but I don't think it's going to matter in the grand scheme of things. They're just going to go for it again. They hit the rebuke. Alright, you got me. Yeah, like, I think I'm still very, very behind, but I mean, maybe I can Bloodbraid into, like, if I draw a card and I hit a land, okay, I didn't, but if I hit a land, maybe I get there. Alright, so game 3. We didn't see any Emrys or anything like that, so maybe Spellbomb just really isn't worth it. You can see Liliana being better on the play. They do play Red and 6 and Galvanic Blast. So Bob gets weaker, but if Bob doesn't die, it's going to be one of the best cards we have in the deck. So I think that's reason enough to take the gamble. We didn't see any graveyard hate either, so maybe cutting Kroxa would be a mistake. I'd love to get this other Liliana in here. I just don't know what I'm cutting. We really didn't see any reason to be playing Spellbomb, so maybe it is just that. Sure. go first. Yeah, it's not excellent. We don't have any early pressure, which is probably important versus this opponent, but it's pretty hard to mulligan turn 1 Inquisition and like lands to cast all my spells. So I've got Wren, Goose, Explosives. I can pulse the Wren and 6 on turn 3. I don't think I'm taking Explosives. I could just take Goose because it's their accelerant and it works them up towards Urza. But I think this Wren and 6 is going to be just annoying enough. I think there's like an actually fair argument for any of the three, but I think Wren and 6 is going to be just overall the most problematic. It also shaves off one of my better draws, which would be Bob. Like if I find a Bob here, I'm just slamming that thing. Courser. All right, well, I'm going to be wanting to get double green then. So I guess I'll get green now. I'll also get second black, so Overgrown Tomb. Ditched an explosive. That's interesting. So I'm probably going to need to put the pulse on the Urza. You can just go land, like make a clue here. Alright, so they played the card we didn't know about. Alright, and that is going to let us cast Courser now. Yes, Corey, this is going to YouTube. I'm gonna cut out all the downtime when I put it on YouTube. So the two lines here are Courser or Pulse the Goose to keep him off of Urza for a turn. I think I'd rather just Courser and then Pulse the Urza next turn. That means I'm not casting Bloodbraid. But if I Pulse the Goose, they're still only one turn behind on Urza, and then when I Bloodbraid, they just Urza on the following turn, and I don't have a good follow-up other than maybe Croxa. Yeah, I think I like Courser here. Maybe we can get some pseudo card advantage going in that way. Definitely need more green. So Stomping Ground. We know their hand is actually, I guess I didn't track the Goose very well. So they could have Metallic Rebuke. But if they rebuke this, it'll be unfortunate, but like there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Thoughtseize is a fine draw. If for whatever reason they don't Urza here, we'll get to take it. So they'll Urza, and then we can pulse the Urza. It's also just something to do with our additional mana. So this game is looking okay so far. I'm gonna guess Urza. Yep, they're short on being able to cast a Metallic Rebuke, which is good. There are two cards in the opponent's hand that we don't know about. That's probably enough to just go ahead and cast the Thoughtseize. We could maybe hold it for a turn where we want to pair it with a threat to like get through a Cryptic command. There is a Cryptic. I think I'm taking it. Yeah, let's take Cryptic. We can then play our land, gain a life. And then we can nuke this Urza. And then next turn we have the option of Bloodbraid Elf or Croxa. And if we have a land on top, we can push as well. What is this? You're like explosives on 3. They found a tracker? That's not fair. That is brutal. cabin, yeah. Now they can attack with construct. That was really nutty. Jeez. Alright, yeah, take it. Land on top. Kolaghan's command on top. That's also interesting. So they can run in 6, get back a land, play a land. That's going to make 2 more clues and make construct at a minimum a 7/7. Alternatively, we could just cast Bloodbraid Elf because we know we're hitting Kolaghan's command. We could shatter construct, kill bird. We can't kill tracker because they can just sacrifice a clue. But I mean, knowing Kolaghan's command on top is a pretty nice tiebreaker. And if we have a land on top after this anyway, we could also push, which would be funny. I guess we'll get to know, right? We've got a bolt on top, so definitely casting this. Let's kill construct, and I guess I actually want to have the opponent discard a card, right? Because this Renin 6 is just gonna equate to so many clues with tracker. So we'll have the opponent discard, and I'll kill construct, so kill an artifact. So target player discards, destroy an artifact. So you'll discard, hit an artifact. Yeah, this is fine. They get to keep the Ren. Still having them ditch a card is good. They discarded the Ren anyway. That is scary. And then I guess I'm actually attacking, right? With the Bloodbraid, that is. Put them to 9. That's some amount of danger. They know we're drawing a bolt. I mean, they're gonna get to attack with the tracker, but I think I'm just letting that happen. If they have like exactly Galvanic Blast, that would be bad. Because like I'd have to block to prevent death. And like the food is also gonna maybe complicate this. Yeah, maybe I should have just killed Goose then. It's one less thing that can block on a future turn. I mean, I do have a push. Push is more than likely going to go after Tracker if I can find Revolt. We just haven't had a land on top yet, which is pretty unlucky. I think we've had 3 looks so far. Alright, if they hit with Tracker, I'm gonna take it, and then I'll die to Galvanic Blast if they've got it. I mean, they ditched Ren, so the other card in their hand is probably better. Brutal. Alright, so there goes Croxa. Is that what they kept over the Ren? It's possible. They know Bolt's on top, so if they do anything other than hold up a clue sacrifice, I get to kill the Tracker with the Bolt that they know we're drawing. They're just doing it now. Sure. They're kind of low on time. I mean, this is game 3, so it's not going to matter. I guess they're just like digging for more lands to combo with the Tracker. Alright, and they got one. We're so close to killing them. We're 1 off, right? Because this is 5. We can push this out of the way. We can bolt them down to 1. Get a land on top finally? No. That's brutal. Man, fetch on top would have been so good. I guess I am attacking attacking with Bloodbraid. They've got to be afraid of only double Lightning Bolt, right? So if I attack with Bloodbraid, maybe they block. Then I have to use Courser to block the Tireless Tracker. Like, if I attack both, I just die to the Tracker. Little unlucky. Yeah, I mean, maybe they do just block. They know we have a Bolt, so as long as if the one other card they don't know about is Bolt, they do just die. Yeah, I think the block makes sense. If they get our Courser out of the way somehow, we'll at least have Push enabled. This is going to be close. I guess tap draw would be the way that they play around their hand perfectly with the Cryptic. Urza, yep. Yeah, that last we've just been breaking for too long, I think. 2 or 3 turns in a row is enough to just kind of die on the spot. Are they spinning the Urza? They are tap drawing. So now we have the really unfortunate line of we have to Lightning Bolt our own Bloodbraid so we can revolt the Fatal Push, right? Is there any other way? Don't think that there is. Yeah, we really needed a land on top any of these past like 3 or 4 turns. We need like a Raging Ravine on top would be best case. I mean, if you're just never gonna draw a land, then Courser looks a lot weaker, I guess. I mean, if they can somehow brick a couple of times, all right, or not. Jeez, I think we just got pretty unlucky there. We just could not find our relevant spell for the life of us. Thanks for the, yeah, I was muted. Thanks for the reminder. Unfortunate. So you lost, the recording will have lost out on like 4 minutes of commentary, but nothing ridiculous has happened in that time, so. Yeah, my girlfriend walked in and I was talking to her. And I forgot to unmute it. Alright, well, we've got Liliana in play, charged up to Edict. So hopefully we had a land and we can escape Kroxa. Not quite that lucky. I think I'm just going to Edict. Keep the spells in my hand. Thanks for the reminder, guys. Giver. Yep. So if they go for the equip, I'll respond with the Kolagon's command to shatter the equipment and kill the giver. Yori into hand, though. Alright, I still think I want to kill giver, kill the sword. No creatures to return yet. Really, we're really doing a number on my own life total here. That land does not escape Kroxa. I mean, if I cast Thoughtseize and plus, we're at parity. Except I'll eventually escape a Kroxa. The issue is that like that has me, if I'm escaping Kroxa at some point, I'm losing 2 here, losing 4, and whatever I use to fetch. So that has me dead to like mostly anything. It sucks. Is it worth it to just not cast the Thoughtseize here? Just like plus the Liliana and ditch it. If they go Yorian, I can just Edict it. But then if they draw a creature immediately after that, I could die. Also, playing this land turns on Tech Edge, which could also just cut off red, and then I'm even farther away. So I think what I'm going to do is maybe I sacrifice Peatland. That's actually interesting. Yeah, let's sacrifice the Peatland. Because I don't want to be tapped in these a lot anyway. And then maybe I can now maybe afford a Thoughtseize. Alright, I'll ditch that at this point. Alright, so I'll Thoughtseize first, because if the opponent has a land, they're definitely going to discard that. It's a Batterskull, jeez. Alright, well. It's no longer a Batterskull. Alright, we're even. I've got a Liliana in play. I guess I'm getting Forest. The issue is that, like, Forest means I can't escape Kroxa. I think I actually do need to get Mountain here, because then literally any land means I'm escaping Kroxa. Like, it'll suck if I find exactly Tarmogoyf, but I've got more lands in the deck than I do Tarmogoyfs. Alright, we hit it. So this gets to Edict that. And I think to conserve life, I'm just going to get a Swamp. I could fetch Shock, but I don't want to die to like a random Flicker Wisp. Flicker Wisp would be worst case, because they can Flicker Kroxa, which would have it trigger. Alright, Kroxa, do the thing, please. Alright, so we pretty much just need to brick. We need the opponent to brick just this one turn. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, they did brick. Cool. So now we're going to have an Edict loaded up. And that was actually kind of the perfect draw, huh? Just an additional threat if they somehow get rid of the Kroxa. And it's also first green and second red for escaping more Kroxas. So I think Ravine was actually kind of the perfect draw. Not that we needed a perfect draw. Okay. So Death and Taxes again. So Plague Engineer going to be good. Courser is also probably fine. The mana's going to get icky. Against D&T, I think I'm taking out the Thoughtseizes. Thoughtseizes do take Yorion after they put it into the hand, but in general, I really just don't want discard, I think. Everything else looks great. I think I do want the Coursers. Probably Huntmaster as well. Then what am I cutting? I think a small number of discards probably good. I think to hedge versus Rest in Peace, maybe we cut a Croxa, just so we don't have 7 things that get nuked by it. And then on the draw, maybe I cut a Bob, especially because like Auriok Champion lines up real well versus it. That's not even true, right? But cutting Bob is probably just loose. Let's keep the Bob. Maybe on the draw we cut a Liliana. It's not insane. Like it's definitely our worst removal spell, just because like if they put an equipment on something, they just sacrifice the other creature, whereas spot removal can hopefully kill the equipped thing. This hand is not excellent, but it's hard to mulligan 1 mana interaction into Goyf. Forge Tender. Alright, I mean, so that effectively counters a Bolt at some point. Oh, wow, we hit a Bob. That's good. So if I'm playing a fetch here, I guess, if I want to use a Bolt, I'll have to fetch Shock. I don't want to get basic Mountain, so I'm not going to play Foothills. I'll take the hit for 1. And then if for whatever reason I don't need to try to bolt something here, I can get Overgrown Tomb. Alright, well I'm gonna try to bolt that. I'll let them make their decision first. Batter Skull, yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so got to imagine that Forge Tender is going to do its job here. So they'll maybe get to sneak their Batter Skull into play, yeah. Any way to kill the Stoneforge would be really nice. A little slow. Alright, well, I guess I am deploying a Dark Confidant then. If for whatever reason they decide to attack, I think I'll block, but like you gotta imagine they're sneaking Batter Skull into play this turn, so that means no attack. Also, Bob has the highest chance of just getting pathed right here, which means maybe we can ramp into our Bloodbraid. They just like straight don't have to path a Tarmogoyf. Alright, we get to trigger. So we want to find like Kolaghan's commands. Kolaghan's command, I guess, would be the big one. Alright, we found the push. So Tarmogoyf is a 3/4. I think I want to play Tarmogoyf, hold up a push. The thing is, like, this Batter Skull is going to not line up. It's going to line up really well versus our Tarmogoyf. And, like, I could Fatal Push the Stoneforge, but then I still have to face down the Batter Skull. And I don't want to chump block yet, but I do want Dark Confidant to be getting us some cards. So maybe what I do is I just play Plague Engineer and then name Germ. It's not great. But there's no way that's good. Things like if I shock to play Goyf, hold up, push. Like what am I doing? Pushing the Germ? That doesn't seem great. I mean it buys the most time. Yeah, I mean, I think I might just be throwing Bob under the bus because, like, my mana is going to be so painful and has been so painful that I just don't have enough life for Bob to really do its work. Like, the mana situation has just been unfortunate, I think. So I think I'm going to be pushing the Germ to save time, which is not what I want to be doing with it. And then I guess I'll fetch Shock Overgrown Tomb and then Shock down to 8. I could get a basic. Basics are not what I want to do, especially versus Field and Ghost Quarter, though. Yeah, I think I'm just shocking like an Overgrown Tomb. And then I'll plan on blocking with Bob. They do know of push. Do I do it now? Is there any reason to do it now? They know we've got the push, so it's kind of like not a surprise at this point. It's not like Restoration Angel could save a Germ. Pretty sure I'm just letting this die. Really don't want to have to push that thing. They're not doing anything? Does that change anything? Do I really want to get a basic here? I mean, it's very possible I just should. No, I can't because I need to push here. Then I guess I'm hitting Stoneforge now. I need Liliana to max out. Like a sword. Second Batter Skull. Jeez. I have never seen a second Batter Skull. Maelstrom Pulse, please. I mean, I can Plague Engineer name Germ. Then Tarmogoyf trades with this Germ. And Plague can trade with the other. But this gets so brutally destroyed by any path to exile. I think I'm going to go for the winning line, which is try to hit the pulse off of this. If I can do it, it would be amazing. Even Kolaghan's command would be good. Liliana. Alright, well, Liliana deals with the first Germ. Yeah, BBE into pulse would be the easy line. Alright, well, we get to kill a Germ. Then say go. Somehow Goyf's still not outsizing these stupid things. And I might even have to double block second Germ, which obviously gets blown out by any path. I guess like even Flicker Wisp can reset other Batter Skull, which would be unfortunate. Yeah. I mean, If they're going at Liliana, I think I just let them kill the Liliana. No, they're going at me. So do I want to risk it? Thing is, like, am I winning otherwise? Like, if I just block with one thing, that doesn't even grow Tarmogoyf next turn. We already have all of these types in the yard. Yep. I'm just gonna really hope that I can grow this Goyf. If I can't grow the Goyf, I'm just dead anyway. Archon. Damn it. Now Bloodbraid can't cascade. Still need to find, like, Pulse would still be an excellent find here. Another Liliana? Not exactly. I mean, I think I'm doing that. I can plus Liliana, discard Bob, play other Liliana. And then adding Planeswalker to the yard does grow the Tarmogoyf. Why no double block? Because I'm hoping that Tarmogoyf can outgrow it next turn. Like, I can kill the Germ, but then I'm left with just a Bloodbraid and no Goyf, and I think Goyf is going to be way more important. They discarded Winds of Abandon. That can't be good. Alright, so Liliana. They could also just, like, have a land and equip a Batterskull. Alright, so Goyf is big now. Have you sacrifice a creature? Which at this point is probably just Germ. Archon? Okay, I can't attack. I guess they discarded Winds of Abandon, so any removal would make a lot of sense here. Yeah. Do I want more green for any reason? Not really. Let's go Swamp. Alright, so we're going down to 4. No, we're going down to 0. They have to play all around only a push. You ever double fisted a Batterskull before? I have not. I think I'm keeping it the same. So no real reasons to change. Yeah, I think our land situation was just too painful there. Like, had I been able to allow that Dark Confidant to survive another turn or two, I think we win that game pretty easily. But I did literally, like, 12 damage to myself. You just like Croxa when they play Rest Path and Skyclave? Yeah, I mean, I did take out one Croxa, right? Because I wanted to hedge versus things like Rest in Peace. I didn't want to have 7 threats that all got destroyed by it. But I mean, Skyclave is gonna exile literally all of our threats, so I don't think that's a reason. I don't think Skyclave is a reason to not play Croxa. And then same with Path, really. In fact, I think Croxa is better to have against a Path deck, because even, like, Path gets rid of everything, right? But at least Croxa also has them discard a card on the way out. So I think all of those arguments are valid, with the exception of. So I think the only, like, really valid argument there would be Rest in Peace. But I did board one out to hedge. Alright, we get the turn 2 Bob, and this time our life total is actually high. Path. Let's say yes. Let's get Mountain. Alright, we've got backup Bob. If they go like Auriok Champion or something here, we can just Liliana it. I think I am just going to Liliana that, which we can do because the opponent was kind enough to ramp us. I'll fetch Shock here. More red, more black. I guess Blood Crypt. I guess no, because I'm playing Courser of Crewfix now, so I definitely want more green. So it's Stomping Ground or Overgrown Tomb. I've got Liliana and, like, more black spells. I think I'm going to get Overgrown Tomb. No, we have Overgrown Tomb already, so that's stupid. I'm just going to get Stomping Ground then. We'll say yes. Liliana. Liliana is a lot less good when it costs 4 mana, but it's still good here. Archon, yep. Well, we can bolt Archon, play Bob. We could even bolt Archon, go Bob, which is something we might be interested in doing. If any of this is the case, I'm definitely wanting to plus Liliana first, so the opponent operates with minimal information. And then I can ditch Blackleaf Cliffs. Alright, and then we have to lead on this so we can unlock a casting other spells. And then I am just going to save the life getting a swamp here, I think. In the off chance both of these Bobs live, I'm going to want the maximum amount of life to work with. Alright, we've got the card advantage lock. They're not quite at Overload Winds of Abandon yet. Dangerous. We can Edict the first thing. Batterskull number 1. Dark Confidant, do the thing. We revealed the Plague Engineer. I think I want to use the Lightning Bolt on the Stoneforge, because then we can continue plussing with Liliana. So we'll use the Bolt. We can continue plussing. I guess I should just play the Engineer and just play the land. And then, what do I name here? I guess, what's Flicker Wisp? Flicker Wisp, I think, by far would be the most dangerous thing. So I'm just going to look it up real fast. Flicker... Come on. Flicker Wisp is an elemental. So let's name elemental. Can't type today. Elemental. Okay. Then we can play our land and plus. Replaced your draw step with lose about 4 life and ancestral recall. Yeah, and I'm not going to fetch. The 1 life could come up. Who knows, maybe we need to revolt somehow. I think we're going to need to get drastically unlucky. Alright, well, we can Edict that with the Liliana that we've got in play. Alright, so as long as we don't flip like mono 4s, we should be pretty good. We revealed 2 lands. Pretty good. You will sacrifice a creature. Gonna play the Peatland and then jam. I guess I could sacrifice Peatland now. Maybe I hit like a Tarmogoyf or something that I want to cast. I guess I even should have done it before combat, because like what if I hit Bloodbraid, right? Which of course means I'm gonna hit Bloodbraid. Okay, hit a land anyway. So go. So they know about only Bloodstained Mire. So yeah, we need to flip like mono 4s to be in any amount of danger here. Just flipping all of the lands, playing Courser of Crewfix. Alright. Lead on attack. Opponent says, seriously? I mean, yeah. I mean, we have been getting slightly lucky, but I mean, the average mana cost in the deck is like, including lands, it's like between 1.2 and 1.5. So, like, looking at it from a statistics standpoint, like, we should be expecting to lose about 2.5 points of life each upkeep, which if you went around and be conservative is 3. Alright, so plus ditch a fetch. Discarded Winds of Abandon. Is there any reason to like actually play around the Supreme Verdict? It's probably actually correct, They could in theory like be playing it. And there's just no reason to overextend when we've already got 3 lethal things. Even if they play Batter Skull, we can just pulse it anyway. And I should have discarded Meyer because that's the one they knew about, but it's pretty minuscule. Restoration Angel. I can push that. Probably just should. Yeah, I guess they were hoping to just get... They were just hoping I would be unlucky. If they Batter Skull here, I'll just Edict the Germ. Any reason to play around Settle the Wreckage? Probably not, because playing around Settle means that we get blown out by Path, which is much more likely. Like, I could attack with just 2 things to keep 1 thing around. We hit a Liliana, sure. We hit Bob, sure. We drew a Huntmaster. Alright, sweet. Yay! Bob good. Alright, let's go first. Keeper. And I guess I should just go Black Leave on 1. I'm going to wish I had played Verdant if they play literally anything. So I guess I'll just play Verdant. And then if they don't play anything, I'll get Overgrown Tomb. Oh, it's Prowess. Okay, well, looks like I'm pushing this. Two drop, please. Not exactly. We can Liliana the next thing, which is good. As long as they don't have 2 next things. Okay, it's bad, but it's not another creature. Okay. Push is good. I'm thinking I actually want to use the push right now instead of Liliana-ing, because Liliana is one of our only good answers to Stormwing Entity. So I actually like using the push, and I want to do it now, I think, to play around the Vapor Snag rebuying the Swift Spear. Like, this has us playing pretty mana inefficiently, but I don't want to just die to a Stormwing. So as long as I don't have a 1-drop on top of this, I should be good. But based off of how they played so far, I'm going to imagine they don't have it. Because, like, I think they would have just played another creature instead of lighting up the stage on turn 2. And if they had the Stormwing or the Manamorphose at the same time, they would have just done that last turn. So I think one of the draw steps was one of these 2. So the plan now is Liliana, Edict, Overgrown Tomb tapped.
Mm-hmm.
They went top, bottom. Alright, they didn't have another creature. Excellent. So this line is going to work out. I mean, Croaks is a pretty good follow-up. Kill the Stormwing. And then maybe I should just play the Mire now. Croaks I think, changes that. Because if we draw... Actually, we get to just get Croaks into play next turn, right? Well, if we draw a fetch, we can. Sure. I think Croxa is going to be a better play than Bloodbraid, assuming we get the option. Yep. I don't think it's worth keeping the fetch for Revolt. I don't think there's anything in the stock list that could bite me. It's like Stormwings and Bedlam Revelers are already too big. So let's just get a dual tapped. Let's make it a stomping ground. I don't need a lot of black for any reason. So this looks like it's going to be a Bloodbraid turn. Decay is interesting. Maybe now I want to just cast Croxa because I can also hold up Decay if they play a creature. And then on the following turn I can get Croxa into play. And like if this hits removal, it's going to look pretty silly. But if it hits another threat, it also looks really good. I think I like being able to cast Croxa next turn. They're a burn deck. It's pretty unlikely that this Bloodbraid is going to go all the way. So I think I like guaranteeing having a bigger threat in play sooner. So like if this hits like a Goyf or something, then cool. But Croxa is a guaranteed powerful play next turn. So they're playing at least 2 snags. Right, because there's 1 in exile over here. So the scariest thing now would definitely be Bedlam Reveler. They've got the spells, right? 4, 5, 6. Yeah, Reveler would be, I think, the easiest way that I lose. I mean, Croxa gets to outsize the Reveler decently well. I gotta take a phone call real fast. Alright, so they had the Reveler. Yeah, I think I'm definitely casting Croxa here. Question is, do I also want to cast Thoughtseize? Probably just should. I still have mana for Croxa, right? Black, black, red, red. Yeah. They've got a Morphose and a Bolt. Let's take the Bolt. And escape a Croxa. Yeah, so Bloodbraiding last turn would have looked pretty bad And I'm going to leave Planeswalker in the yard because if I find the Tarmogoyf, I think Walker is going to be the hardest thing to reintroduce to the graveyard. Yeah, and like I could have Kroxa first, so the opponent discards without information. But I think I like keeping the Liliana in the graveyard. I mean, it's completely possible that. I mean, you're kind of getting like a fraction of a percentage point either way. So I mean, I guess Thought Seizing is better, assuming they've got only one thing to discard. Like because maybe they discard the spell, but that's just never happening. They drew an Opt. Right, Opt is dangerous. I mean, the Reveler doesn't push through the Kroxa this turn anyway. We've got the Decay for the Dragon. They went top. Scary. I do think I want to kill the Sprite Dragon here. They got Manamorphose in hand, 2 cards total, and 2 cards that they know of on top. What happens if I Bloodbraid? If I Bloodbraid and don't hit removal, what happens? Like, if I just decay this, I do have an attack, right? They'll probably keep Manamorphose. What are the odds I die, basically, if I attack, is the question. They'll discard whatever, take 6 down to 11. If I don't hit removal, I can hold this back. They can Manamorphose. If they find, like, a Bolt or something, they'd have to clear this out of the way, and I don't just die. No, I do, because of the entity. So I think what I'm doing is I'm just decaying this. And then I can't really attack either because I need to be able to block Reveler. Like if I can trade with Reveler, I think I'm happy about that because I have backup threats. If I didn't have another way to win, I'd feel much more worried about that line. But I think I'm going to let them just do the maximum storming and then decay the Sprite Dragon. They went top with this too, so like you got to imagine this thing is going to grow pretty large. And I think I've played this correctly so far. I just haven't. They've just been able to pull out of it each time. Burst lightning target me. Yeah. Alright, so any other spell means that Kroxa is chump blocking. Light up the stage. Yeah, that counts. We got blue left. So I guess unless they're playing another Vapor Snag, I'm not dead here. So, yeah, I just like have to block. Then I need Bloodbraid to be good. Alright, we need to hit like a Liliana or something here, I think. I guess like Terminate, Maelstrom Pulse also acceptable. We hit Liliana. That's what we needed. So they can just go creature, creature here. Yep. Yep. So if they want to, this can kill Liliana. They do. I almost think they should have gone at me, to be honest. Alright, so if I sacrifice fetch land, one more card in yard means I can Croxa, but I think I have to Bloodbraid anyway, so I think I'm just gonna save the life and not sack it. Ravine. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna cast Bloodbraid again. We need to hit removal again. Which is a good chunk of the deck. Hit a Bob. I guess I'll cast it as a blocker. Can I afford to attack with more than one creature? I think I die to literally anything if I don't leave something back. So I guess I'll hit with just a Bloodbraid. Bob was the worst hit for sure. Actually, I guess Thoughtseize is worse. Croxa, another Croxa would have also been pretty unexciting. Yikes. I mean, they've got to be careful, right? They do have Ravine in play. If they attack all, I can block with Bob, take 5 down to 2. Yeah, they're just gonna get in for the guaranteed damage. So if I activate Ravine, attack all, they just block Ravine, take 8. That's not lethal. I needed a Bolt. What 1 mana removal would have won us the game here, right? Or like Pulse would have been good too, but not these. Yeah. Alright, we're dead. They actually can't flash back the Lava Dart, which is kind of funny, but that doesn't change the fact that we can't kill them. Aggravating. I think I played that about as tightly as I could have. That Bedlam Reveler I said was the way that we lose, and there it is. I think On the Play is probably the best case for Chorister, but I think it's probably still too slow. Let's cut 1 off the top. Cut some Thoughtseizes. They do play Reveler and Stormwing, which Thoughtseize hits. But I mean, Spellbomb to a degree deals with those as well. Definitely want to take out the Bobs. Might just keep the 1. Maybe I just play other Bloodbraid before I play first Bob. Yeah, let's go first. Got a keeper. Gonna want to be careful of Blood Moon. We've got Verdant to get either of our basics. I'll still lead on Inquisition. Gonna need to find a quick threat like a Tarmogoyf or something. Their hand is all threats. Well, I guess I'll take the 1 mana thing. They also just have a single land, so yeah, I'll just take the 1 mana thing. It's a pretty risky keep. I mean, I guess if they hit only lands, this hand has the potential of being very good. Alright, Bloodbraid is a quick threat that I was afraid of missing out on. Should I just really not play around Blood Moon? Like, I would love to be able to get a tap Shockland, but I don't want to just die immediately to the moon. I mean, I could play Peatland, play Spellbomb off of Blackleaf Cliffs, just hold up a push or a bolt. I guess I'll do that for at least one more turn. And then when they play, if they draw the land for the Sprite Dragon, I'll just push it pretty much immediately. So this is going to be a nice way to mitigate Reveler, but still have to worry about double Stormwing. Stormwing, I think, is the card that's hardest to beat post-board. Pre-board, it's Reveler. Alright, they missed. That's good news. Brutality. I think what I want to do is I want to fetch Basic Forest and cast a Brutality. I mean, Brutality is just another removal spell. I have no shortage of those, though. I think I do want to use the Spell Bomb to try to hit the land for the Bloodbraid, though. Maybe that's just spewing it. Then that opens up myself up to getting hit with the Reveler again. I think I should just wait. If I hit a land naturally, excellent. But I think spewing this to just hit a land and not even have that be guaranteed is a little risky. Alright, they bricked again. Alright, and then at this point I think I'm not playing around Blood Moon. I do want my mana to be good. And again, I'm not going to spew the Spell Bomb just because I can. They're going to go to discard. Discarded an Aether Gust. Interesting. Alright, well I didn't hit it, so I guess I'm just passing. I don't think I want a Brutality to duress them, especially because they're already going to discard anyway. It seems like that'd be a spew. Just gonna like Lava Dart me? Sure. So they've got 2 spells in the yard. You want to like sack a land to get a Storming Entity out? I don't think they will. So would it be a spew now? They didn't play Sprite Dragon, which is interesting. I mean, I think I am just gonna pop it now. 2 things when their hand is all threats. They're pretty far off from a Reveler, and there's also value in just like hitting this Lava Dart. Like if they flash it back here, sacking a land, I'm ecstatic. Okay. Need lands. Untapped land would be really, really big. Goif's good too. That can be gusted, but they discarded one. So maybe they don't have it. We know their hand is 4 threats and some stuff. I mean, there's obviously something instant speed worth holding up. If this is like an Aether Gust, I think I'm just going to bottom it. Aether Gust would make sense. Or like a Vapor Snag, maybe. The downside of bottoming this Goif, though, would be like if I don't hit the land, that's like a turn where I'm not deploying another threat. Alright, they've just had enough. Sure. Alright. Well, on the draw now. I think I'm going to keep it as is. Yep. I mean, this is looking pretty tight. There's not really a card in the deck that I don't want to find. It's kind of just like everything that costs 7 or more. Or sorry, I saw this number 7. Anything that costs 3 or more. Everything else is like cheap interaction or cheap threats. The 1s and 2s are definitely at a premium. Come on, deck. Yeah. We can play around the Blood Moon. We've got Turn 1 Inquisition and some removal spells lined up. Gonna have to be careful of how awkward it ends up being. Liliana's a good find. So I'm gonna swamp on 1, cast Inquisition. Like next turn I would love to get Forest to cast Decay, but that makes Kroxa much more difficult. I guess we can just look at the opponent's hand and see what we're worried about. So they've got Manamorphose, Brazen Borrower. Wow. I can kill the Borrower pretty easily. I think I just want to take the card that's going to cantrip them into maybe more action. Like, the unsummon is going to be annoying, but I don't really have anything that I don't care about getting unsummoned. Like, it's going to get some amount of value. Also, Storming Entity could be a really troublesome draw if I let them keep the Metamorphose. Alright, well, they hit it anyway. Into a Sprite. Disgusting. Bolt was good. Now we can just kill both things. So we know their hand is Brazen Borrower, 2 lands. I think I do just want to kill both their things. Maybe maximize the chance that Liliana can Edict onto an empty board. Actually, I guess I can't actually kill both things right now. So I guess I'm going to play Foothills. I'll probably use Decay just because that's the one that costs the most mana. I kind of have to hope that they brick off a little bit. And remember, Brazen Borrower doesn't target their own stuff. So I don't have to, like, wait on this. So it looks like they might just be planning on flashing in a Brazen Borrower. Right, so I could get basic Forest here, but that turns off all my red spells. So I'm kind of feeling like I need to get Stomping Ground. And then between the two to kill, I think Sprite Dragon is more dangerous. Bolt will more easily kill the Soul Scar. Oh, they found Aether Gust. That's bad. I guess I top it, right? Because I can just use double removal next turn too. So I'm taking a pretty significant hit here. But I still get to kill both of their things. We know the hand. We can't get blown out. I guess in the chance they draw another Aether Gust, I'm going to want to do this now. So, I mean, we're at 8, and they do play a lot of burn spells. So, I mean, they might just flash in a 3/1 flyer. Which I guess I'm going to use Kolaghan's command on. And then other mode will be you discard a card. I could have it be I discard a card, so that way I can maybe get Croaks into play sooner. But I think it's going to be better off just having the opponent discard when they've got 1 left. Just put him in top deck mode at least. And it was the Soul Scar. Oh, their second response. Okay, so if this is like a Bolt or something, that'd be absolute worst case. Alright, they're discarding though. It was a Spell Pierce. Did they not have another Steam Vents in the deck? That'd be funny. Alright, we are at your mercy, deck. Terminate's a good pickup. I think I just want a Croxa here. I need to get something into play that can actually win the game. I've got Terminate for an instant speed, whatever. Uh-oh, Dart. Yep. So that's the only Dart in the yard. So, assuming I'm paying a life off of Peatland next turn to escape Croxa, I'm at a virtual 5. Which means if they dart me down to 4, I'm not dead to just 1 bolt, but I'm going to have to be careful how I tap Peatland. They had a land, okay. So we get to Croxa here. Red. Actually, hang on. I should fetch, right? I should fetch instead of tapping Peatland. Maybe that's not true. I think actually I want to keep the land in hand to discard to Liliana anyway. So I think I will actually just go ahead and tap the Peatland. That has me off of 1 less mana though, right? Because like if I drop Bloodbraid moving forward, I can no longer cast it. I would have to get Basic Swamp. Is Basic Swamp still in the deck? It is, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess getting Basic Swamp still makes sense. This game is ending in a couple turns anyway, so I don't think having a card to discard Liliana is going to particularly matter anyway. So yeah, I guess I'll get Basic Swamp. So like short of an insane Bedlam Reveler, I should be good to go here. Alright, so I need to dodge Bedlam Reveler into like 2 burn spells. Is I think what needs to happen. Vapor Snag would be annoying as well. Aether Gust would be annoying as well. Like any burn spell, I think I'm okay. Like light up the stage could be dangerous. Alright, that has me winning, pretty sure. Sick. Yeah, let's go first. We rolled a 6. Reeling Yorion again. Alright, well this hand's probably just excellent. Turn 1 Inquisition, turn 2 Dark Confidant, some pretty powerful follow-ups. Trying to find a good valued green or red creature in that CMC range. Are you trying to pull off any combos, or are you just trying to get something that costs 3 that's overall pretty powerful? I mean, that question, I feel like I would need a few more details for, because like I don't know what like the goal of the deck is, or like what the weaknesses of it are. Are you also playing like all the one mana accelerants like Bird and Hierarch? If you're gonna have a curve heavy on threes, I would guess you're already using those, and if you're not, maybe yeah, you are. Okay. I mean, if you're playing something as powerful as Collected Company, I don't know that you need Tarmogoyf. Company decks usually don't run a whole lot of different, I guess, tight card types, so Goyf isn't maximized there. Also, like, another reason why Jund uses Tarmogoyf, and even Abzan as well, they use it so well, is because you just need to have the biggest generic beater available, because you don't have access to lots of other beaters because you're filling those slots with interaction. But if your whole deck is going to be beaters, if your whole deck is just beaters, then I don't know that you need Goyf. You've tried Goyf and it's terrible? Yeah, I would imagine it's for at least some of the reasons that I described. But if you just want more stuff that's powerful at the top, I've recently done well with Courser of Crewfix. I mean, if you're a company deck with lots and lots of creatures, then it's entirely possible that mid to late game is not your issue, and then Courser loses value. Alright, so they went Misty into Utopia Sprawl. Alright, so we don't know that they have a land. So we're hoping that they're not able to Abrupt Decay here, because they did name blue on the Utopia Sprawl. So really, really hoping that this Dark Confidant gets to live and that we can find a land with it. So I mean, if you want more just like creatures where like the sole purpose is to just gain some amount of value or some immediate pressure, you said you tried Tracker, you tried Spyro. Oh god, that was worst case. I mean, at 3 or less, there's not a lot. Feels bad. You haven't tried Tracker? I thought you had said... Oh, someone else said Tracker. Okay, that was Ian that said Tracker. Yeah, Tracker might be good. They put Yorion into their hand. So, there's a chance I want to terminate this thing just so Liliana can start going up. Like, if I Liliana, I can Edict. Yeah, I mean, if I draw, like, any other 2-mana threat, I'm going to really wish I had just terminated this thing, because if they play a land and then play an Omnath, my Liliana looks a lot sillier, so I think it's worth it trying to get Liliana in. And then I almost want to just not activate it here. I do have backup Liliana. They can decay the first one, and the rest of my hand is so good, I'm just going to pass. Like, if they want to use their turn decaying this thing, that's probably fine. They could also they could have a Lightning Helix, which would definitely bite me, but they're missing lands for that. Yeah, sure. Like they could easily be playing 5-color Nib, so Helix is probably a 4 of. Gwaif's a good find. I could Liliana here, but I think I want to use a Liliana to surprise Edict. We could get forced, but that's going to happen anyway, unless they find the force immediately. Gwaif is going to be kind of hard for them to deal with, at least with what we know about right now. They could obviously like have another Decay, they could have another Guile. You're going to try Crewfix over Tracker because you don't think it'll deal with the Yelling Drops? I mean, they're nice together. I mean, neither one is ridiculously powerful, but I mean they're both kind of fine, you know. I think cards like Tracker and Courser, they gain a lot of value when they help your deck like gain some kind of traction that it doesn't have access to. But if you're just trying to make a really good value town collected company deck, I don't know that either creature is going to be maybe what you're looking for. Because I'm assuming, being the creature heavy deck, you're going to want to be the beatdown a good amount of the time. So what you might be wanting to find are creatures that come down quickly and aggressively, which puts you at a weird crossroads because like you want like to maximize on 3-mana creatures so that your companies can be as powerful as they can be. You're basically building a zoo deck, right? So like 3-mana aggressive creatures fill this awkward space in aggro decks where like they come down at 3 mana, so they're not really aggro at all, but like you can still put in heavy hitters. I don't know if that makes sense. It made sense in my head, but I kind of felt like I started babbling a little bit. Yeah, I feel like the best company decks do tend to be the combo variants, because like you could just instant speed hit your combo and win. You get what I'm saying? That makes one of us. So. Omnath number 2. This art is so cool, but the card is so busto. Alright, so I guess worst case would be like fetch into a path, but if they're playing like 5-color Niv, maybe they don't play path. And if they are playing 5-color Niv, I think they're out of Omnaths. Because I know a lot of these Niv decks, they don't play a whole lot of Omnaths because you can't hit it off of Niv. They could just be 4-color control. No, they have to be 5-color, right? Because they cast Guile. What am I talking about? Yeah, so like this has to be 5-color. Okay, they hit the Misty. So they can make a lot of mana this turn. Well, the good news is they can't Uro us. Niv time. Oh, just Yorion. Yeah, I mean, Yorion blinks Omnath. Just draws another card. I guess they could reset a Sprawl if they really felt like it. Alright, we can start blood braiding. So, Tarmogoyf does actually outsize both of these things. I mean, I guess I am just casting Bloodbraid first. And I might not even plus this, because like, this is going to get smacked anyway. I don't really want to discard any of these cards. I guess I'll just lead... Ooh, that was a voice crack. I guess I'll just lead on the Bloodbraid and see what I can find. Just anything to kill either of these I'd be happy with. One of our weaker hits. Alright, so they've got... That's a trophy. I'm assuming this is a trophy. It's a Dreadbore. Okay. So they do have the Niv. They've got Helix and Guile. So they've got land as well, so they're going to have 6 mana on their turn. I think Guile is going to be the most problematic. Helix is annoying as well, but I mean, Helix is also cheaper. I guess it makes them use their mana more awkwardly if I leave them with the Helix, so I guess I'll take Guile. And then I think it's worth an attack. Like, if this attack means I get to kill either of these, I think I'm happy. That said, I still think I'm pretty dead to this Niv. Okay, and am I plussing? I really don't think so. I guess I could plus with the idea that Goyf is not going to be useless. It is not going to be useful. Because I'm just going to be blood braiding next turn anyway. But this Niv is going to be difficult no matter what. Dreadbore Goyf. Yeah. So they can't also Helix unless they shock a Stomping Ground. And that puts them in danger to dying, so this could get interesting. Alright, that's right. They gain 4, yeah. Alright, so this is their hand. Zap this thing. Yep. So I think we're on no outs here. Like, even if we Bloodbraid into the absolute nuts, which I don't even know what that is, it's got to be a way to kill one of these two. We still just can't beat the Niv. Wish I had that a while ago. If I had this on turn 2, it'd been much better. We did have it on turn 2, but they killed it. We're dead. I'm not gonna make them go through all the clicks of playing Niv. We know we can't beat it. Alright, so 5-color Niv. I guess Wildfire has the chance of making their mana awkward, but I mean, their mana is so good somehow. I think I want the Coursers. I don't think they have anything graveyard related, so Spellbomb not looking spectacular. Brutality can take stuff like Bring to Light, and I guess on the play we can kill birds and stuff. But Utopia Sprawl is not a bird, so it gets hard. Let's cut 2 Inquisitions. I think Thoughtseize is probably better than Inquisition because you can kill all that stuff at the top. I'm assuming they're going to be bringing in stuff like Celestial Purge, Rest in Peace. So maybe I want to cut a Croxa. So if they Rest in Peace me, I don't have 7 things that just get completely wrecked by it. And I guess I cut a Bolt as well. Bolt just really doesn't seem like it's going to do a lot. Pushes can at least kill Omnath. But I mean, the 1-for-1s I think are just not where I want to be. Let's bring this in too. I forgot about that one. So like, what if I just really shaved on all these and like tried to just be a pretty bad beatdown deck? Like just keep everything that has the potential of doing direct damage to the face. Even that plan is made hard by like Kaya's Guile, Lightning Helix, Omnath though. Ugh, does not feel good. I think I'm just gonna hope they don't have the Rest in Peace. I'm not. I'll leave it push, but it doesn't feel good. Yeah, this matchup's got to be rough, right? I've won it before. Whew. Looks like a ship. Looks like a keep. And I think I'm actually just going to bottom the push. It's push your Kolagon's command. Yeah, I guess push kills Omnath, which is the reason to keep it. If they have like a 1-mana bird, I'm going to really wish I'd kept the push. Yeah, I guess I'll keep push over it. Kind of convinced myself. So this will plan on getting Blood Crypt, and then I can shock in a Stomping Ground to Goyf. And if they name red or white, Goyf is going to look silly if they Helix it. Red. Oops. So do I just Croxa instead? Bloodbraid's a good one. I could just Croxa instead. I could just hope they don't have a Kaya's Guile or a Helix. I think I kind of have to. I mean, what am I doing otherwise? I guess Croxa is fine. Then the turn after I could play Goyf, hold up push. Sure. I think the removal is just so good that I need to make it so that their bad removal isn't also good, so they can save their more powerful removal for my more powerful threats. I think like if I just throw this into a Helix, I'm just letting them use the Helix as an actual useful spell as opposed to just a gain 3. Crap. Thoughtseize, you're a little late. Alright, well I'm still gonna cast it. So they have the Push, the Guile, the Bring Delight, and the Omnath. So if I take the Push, I can stick the Goyf. But all these other cards are going to beat me much more easily. They don't have the Guile. This is Kaya Orzhov Usurper. You can like exile a 1-drop. Also, that exiles Kroxa, which might be reason enough to just take it now. I do have the Push for the Omnath. This Bring Delight's going to be annoying, but this Kaya gets played immediately, and it's going to wreck my one really good way to win after they push my Goyf. So I think I'm taking that. And then, I guess I am just playing the Goyf into the push. Like, they're going to have it for the rest of the game, so... I guess if I draw a Courser, I'm going to want second green, so let's Tomb here. Alright, and this is going to get pushed. And then hopefully Blood Raid can do some pressuring. Alright, well, Triumph at least means they can't Omnath and push. Unless I'm not thinking of something. Omnath, yep. Yeah, I mean, all of their cards being multi for ones in some way or another is really hurtful. So there's currently no instant in the yard. Damn. So I can attack Ren and 6. If they don't block, I could Fatal Push the Omnath. Even though it doesn't kill the Omnath, it would at least grow the Goyf and have me killing Ren and 6. It is not great. I'm going to have no good way to deal with this Omnath if I use the push. But if I let them continue just gaining infinite value off of the Omnath and the land drops, it's not going to be good either. Alright, I'm going to do this just to grow Tarmogoyf. This one gets pushed. Watch them Bring Delight for like a Maelstrom Pulse. It's the one push I left in the deck. Valky. Yeah. I guess that works, huh? If we can draw a land and then cascade into a way, not that land, cascade into a way to kill Goyf, so that way the Bloodbraid can hit the Tybalt, that could be good. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna drop in this event. I'm gonna stick around for some Vintage Cube though. Thanks all on the YouTube for sticking around with me through the 6 rounds that I ended up getting to play. Had some good matchups and some bad ones. I think I won all of the good ones and lost all the bad ones, so it makes sense. Until next time, Jen them out.